Hi everyone and welcome to today's video. This is another A2 level functional English lesson. We're still talking about going on vacation, and these slides will show you some of the things that you need to do before you leave home for a vacation. All right, so what are some of the things that you see in these pictures? Looks like you have a passport. So if you're traveling out of your own country, you generally need to bring your passport. These are vaccinations, things sometimes that you need to get in case you're going to certain destinations. Books, maybe for reading while you're on the plane or relaxing on the beach. Some sort of mapping or GPS program. This looks like some toiletry items, small travel size toiletry items that you would want to pack, and then the currency of wherever you're going to. All right, so Will and Ben live in Germany and they're going on a 15-day tour to Peru. Well, they will do a 4-day trek to visit Machu Picchu. So we're going to do this dialogue. First, I'll just read through it, and then we'll practice it doing the different parts, and then we'll switch. So you can either pause the video and read on your own, or you can follow along as I read. We need to organize a few things before we leave, so let's make a list. Do we need a visa? I searched for information on the internet, but I'm not sure about it. We don't need to apply for a visa before we leave. We'll get one on arrival at the airport. Great. Do we need any vaccinations? Yes, a vaccination against yellow fever is recommended. Also, we should take some anti-malarial medication too. I will make an appointment for Friday. All right, this time through, I'll read Ben's part and you'll respond with Will's part, and then we'll switch. We need to organize a few things before we leave, so let's make a list. We don't need to apply for a visa before we leave. We'll get one on arrival at the airport. Yes, a vaccination against yellow fever is recommended. Also, we should take some anti-malarial medication too. I will make an appointment for Friday. All right, this time you'll read Ben's part and I'll read Will's part. So go ahead and start whenever you're ready. Do we need a visa? I searched for information on the internet, but I'm not sure about it. Great. Do we need any vaccinations? All right, it'll continue. Okay, shall we buy a guidebook? I think we should read a bit more about Peru, especially Machu Picchu. I'd like to learn more about its history. Actually, there's no need to buy one. I borrowed one from the library. Perfect. All we need to do is pack. Well, we still need to buy some things like toiletries. We should buy some mosquito repellent, and I'd like to get some new walking shoes. We're going to walk a lot, so I think it makes sense to get new shoes. Yes, and also I need a new raincoat. I suppose it will get cold at the top of the mountains. All right, this time I'll read Will and you'll read Ben, and then we'll switch. Okay, shall we buy a guidebook? I think we should read a bit more about Peru, and especially Machu Picchu. I'd like to learn more about its history. Perfect. All we need to do is pack. Yes, and also I need a new raincoat. I suppose it will get cold at the top of the mountains. All right, this time you'll read Will's part, so go ahead and start whenever you're ready. Actually, there's no need to buy one. I borrowed one from the library. Well, we still need to buy some things like toiletries. We should buy some mosquito repellent, and I'd like to get some new walking shoes. We're going to walk a lot, so I think it makes sense to get new shoes. All right, so you're going to answer these questions about Ben and Will, and you may need to go refer back to the text. So, where are they going on vacation? What vaccination do they need? Why don't they need to apply for a visa? What medication do they need? And what did Ben borrow to learn about their destination before they leave? So take a few minutes and answer those questions, and then you can restart the video when you're ready to check your answers. Okay, so number one, where are they going? To Machu Picchu in Peru. What vaccination do they need? Um, one is for yellow fever. Why don't they need to apply for a visa? They will receive one when they arrive. What medication do they need? Malarial medication. And what did Ben borrow to learn more about their destination before they leave? A guidebook of Peru. All right, so what is the travel agent talking about? So we're going to read these statements and then try to match them up with what you think the agent is talking about. Make sure that it is valid for at least 6 months. If it will expire soon, you should get a new one. Well, that is probably a passport. You should apply at the French consulate. Normally, the consulate will issue one that is valid for 90 days. That would be obtaining a visa. I recommend that you get some before you leave. You often need it to pay for something as soon as you arrive, like a taxi. That would be taking local currency. And I recommend that you speak to your doctor, as typhoid and hepatitis A are health concerns in this country. You might need one or two. That's getting a vaccination. A notice that tells you important information you should know about a place before going there. It's probably a travel alert. Things that you must not carry with you in a vehicle or take into the country. It's prohibited items. The amount of luggage you can take with you on a vehicle would be a baggage allowance. And money that you pay to a company which pays for the costs of medical services and stolen items while you are on vacation. That would be the travel insurance premium. All right, so we're going to read this email to Peter. And so what does Peter need to organize before his vacation? So we're going to read the email with information from his travel agent. Again, you can pause the video and read on your own, or you can follow along as I read. Hi, Peter. You must be getting excited about your vacation. Here's some answers to your questions. Yes, you should make an appointment with your doctor. Malaria, hepatitis A, and typhoid can still be a problem in some parts of the country. You're allowed to take 20 kilos, but of course you should pack light if you're going to carry everything on your back. No, you must not carry a pocket knife in your hand luggage. It must go into your checked baggage. And you should definitely get it if you have to go to a hospital. You want to make sure that you can pay all of your medical expenses. All right, so travel advice. If you're going to Australia, They advise you need a 30-day visa on arrival for passports with 6 months validity. No vaccinations are advised. Some areas of the country are very remote. Attacks by crocodiles and sharks are rare, but they do happen. And medical expenses in Australia are considered expensive. In Indonesia, receive a 30-day visa on arrival for passports with 6 months of validity. Hepatitis A vaccine is recommended. Pay attention in large cities because petty theft is common. And medical expenses are generally cheap, but international standard hospitals are located only in major cities. All right, now you need to give some advice. Your friend has booked a flight to Nepal. What does your friend need to do before leaving? So these are some travel tips. Avoid water that is not bottled or boiled. Avoid raw vegetables and pre-cut fruit as much as possible. Hepatitis A and typhoid are risks for the traveler. There are daily scheduled power outages. Have a flashlight handy at all times. Hospitals are generally of a good standard. If you are very sick, you might need to fly home to get the right medical assistance. And visas can be obtained at the airport, but you must pay in US dollars. No other currency is accepted. So some of the advice you might give is for your friend to visit a doctor and get the vaccinations against hepatitis and typhoid. Make sure that they have plenty of batteries. They might want to consider medical travel insurance and also make sure that they have U.S. currency. All right, now let's see if you can complete this conversation. You're going to fill in the gaps with the words from the boxes. You can pause the video and try that on your own, and then restart when you're ready to check your answers. So we're going to be away from the house for 2 weeks, so let's think, what else do we need to do? First, we need to ask our neighbor, Mr. Clover, if he can, I would say maybe care for or take care of our garden, but I don't think that he will. Oh, sorry, no, this one would be water our garden. Mistake there. Water our garden, but I don't think he will look after the dog. He doesn't really like animals. Maybe we can ask Josh and Alicia to take care of Jack. They will definitely do that for us. They really like Jack too. Oh, what about the paper delivery? You need to cancel the newspaper delivery. We don't need the newspaper if we aren't here. Actually, why don't we ask Mr. Clover if he can collect the mail too? Now, use your imagination to answer the questions below. You're going to imagine that you're going away for 2 months. So who will look after Mitzi, who's your 12-year-old cat? Who will look after your houseplants? What will you do about the mail? What will you do about your magazine and newspaper delivery? And who will take care of your budgie? All right, now we're going to see if you can figure out what each person is talking about. So we're going to match the statements A through D with these items on the right. I know I need it, but it's expensive. $300 for 2 weeks. But if I have some kind of emergency, I want to make sure that I can afford my medical expenses. Well, that would be getting travel insurance. I need to get a new one quickly. If I don't apply for it soon, I won't be able to leave the country. Well, that is a passport. They don't issue them at the airport, so you must apply for one before you leave. That's obtaining a visa. And I will ask the Kramers to do it because everyone in that family likes animals. That's someone to take care of the pets. So now read this information and tell Eric 5 things that he must do before he goes on vacation. So Eric has bought a ticket to Myanmar and he leaves in a month. He hasn't organized anything else. Every tourist requires a visa before entering Myanmar. You cannot get a visa at the airport. Doctors recommend that you have vaccinations for hepatitis A and typhoid and that you take anti-malarial medication. Eric has a large dog and an aquarium of tropical fish. And there are a few good hospitals in Myanmar. If you fall very sick, you will need to travel to Thailand, which would require a plane ride. So think about what are some of the things that Eric needs to do. Well, first, he needs to think about where he is going to stay. So he needs to book accommodations in Myanmar. Next, he needs to find out how to get a visa. Third, he needs to visit his doctor. To get the vaccinations and medications that he needs. Fourth, he needs to find someone to take care of his dog and his fish. And probably he needs to purchase travel insurance. All right, so now we're going to complete Evan's email to his friend. So you're going to fill in the gaps with these words from the boxes. You can pause the video and try that on your own, and then restart when you're ready to check your answers. Hi, Adrian. Well, this was going to be a vacation of a lifetime, but unfortunately, a few things have gone wrong. When we arrived, we took a taxi to the hotel, and we were in an accident. I hurt my arm badly, and I had to go to hospital. I don't have travel insurance, so I had to pay a lot of money. After only a few days, I ran out of money. My new ATM card is on my desk in my house, so can you send it to me? But the problem is that I forgot to give you my house key, so how can you get it? I hope that you can help me. This isn't the vacation that I wanted. All right, now think about what these people need to do. Ruby is 23 and she's going away on a 6-month backpacking journey to India. She's never traveled there before. So what are the things that you think she needs to do? So she probably needs to learn something about India. Find out if she needs a visa. Find out if she needs any vaccinations or medications. And if she's going to be gone for 6 months, she needs someone to check on things, arrange for a friend to check on her house or apartment and figure out how to pay her bills while she is away. All right, Sam and Josh will go on a surfing holiday in Australia for 3 weeks. They plan to buy an old car and travel around the coast for 3 months. Okay, so in addition to making their travel arrangements, they probably need to find out what the laws are in Australia for purchasing a car and getting car insurance. Also, they would need to find out how to sell the car after the trip. You know, maybe check out the cost of renting a car instead. And Anna is an experienced mountain climber. She's going to northern Pakistan for 3 weeks to some of the tallest mountains in the world. Again, because she's experienced, she probably doesn't need, to find out anything about equipment, but, she might need to know if she needs a guide, so determine if she needs a guide or if she needs any permits for climbing in certain places. All right, here we have another complete these tips or recommendations with the items from the boxes. So go ahead and try that on your own and then restart the video when you're ready to check your answers. All right, preparation is extremely important. Remember that you need a visa to enter many countries, and of course, you cannot leave your own country without a passport. Your health is also important. You shouldn't travel without insurance. And of course, make sure you get vaccinations to protect you against diseases. Don't forget your home. If you are leaving home for longer than a few days, ask a friend or a neighbor to take care of your pets and look after your garden. It's also a good idea to ask someone to collect the mail. And finally, make sure that you read travel alerts before you go. It's important to know what is happening in the places where you travel. All right, so now just take a look at each of these destinations and think about what you would need to do if you're going to travel to each of these places. And that brings us to the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, and share. And if you have any questions, leave those for me in the comments. Thanks for watching. Bye.